The Titanic exposed class-based survival disparities, sparking public outrage and changing maritime safety laws. Well, that is because first class had the highest survival rate out of all the other classes, which are official statistics from Doan. The public saw this class inequality, and they were enraged by this unfair treatment, which changed the social norms of that time. With a furious public on the White Star Line's back, this had to change, which did lead to the creation of SOLACE, aka Safety of Life at Sea, forming maritime safety laws as we know of today. Now, here's what begs the question: how did class inequality come to be? The Industrial Revolution. You know, when lots of people switched from working in agriculture to working in the new factory system to earn 20 cents an hour for 60 hours a week to work in unsafe conditions. And it was no doubt very successful, as some rose to power, becoming amazingly wealthy. Others did not, causing a class difference between the wealthy, middle, and third class, which therefore created a new social norm of unequal treatment between them, depending on if they're poor or not. Kind of like how people want to be friends with the rich people because they got the money. And then I was like, well, I got the money. That's a knee slapper. That's a knee slapper. Thank you very much. I know I am.
You, it's a peasant.
You, what are you doing here?
No parents.
Let's take away this kid.
On April 10th, 1912, the Titanic set on its maiden voyage from England to New York, carrying 2,200 passengers and crew, many passengers coming from different countries. There was a class inequality among them, however. First class was given luxury and probably even had someone to fluff in their pillows for them. Meanwhile, third class had the thrilling experience to be treated like luggage, staying in very, very small quarters. Then, at 11:40 p.m. to 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, the Titanic struck an iceberg. The crew made sure first class was safe. Third class, they got the exclusive experience of being locked behind gates like a VIP club, except the only bottle service was seawater. These restrictions and the fact that there weren't enough lifeboats are what caused most of everyone from lower classes to die. According to the statistics, 62% of first class survived, second class at 41%, and third class at 25%.
Coincidence? I think not!
According to the official diagram of the Titanic from Disproportionate Devastation article, as you can see, people in third class were basically living in the ship's basement. Not only that they were further down from the deck, but they were also boxed in by locked gates, separating third class from the other upper classes. That was a brilliant idea, until the Titanic started to sink. Then suddenly, being exclusive meant being excluded from survival. They weren't allowed up until first and second class were properly secure, leaving most of third class trapped below deck as the ship went down, sadly into the depths of the Atlantic Ocean with the Titanic, making it their final resting place.
Sorry about that. It's a very sad and unfortunate event. The public awareness of the class inequality had spread. The Titanic became a symbol of social injustice, influencing literature, film, and public discourse for decades to come. The public was enraged by this unfair treatment that would determine their chance of survival. According to Titanic disaster newspaper articles from 1912 to 1922, which explain the shocking news and the sympathy they have for the people who didn't make it. Many newspapers from New York Times and Chicago Tribune published emotional stories from survivors. Then others had lots of criticism and class bias, like the headlines in the Daily Mirror in London, questioning why so many third-class passengers died while more first-class passengers survived. You suck! Ow. Fun fact, one of the crew members of on the Titanic, a chief baker, a man named Charles John Johan, survived swimming in the Atlantic Ocean after the Titanic sank. How is that possible? Well, this guy, this man, this legend got drunk on the Titanic after helping people to the lifeboats, and when he fell into the Atlantic Ocean, he treaded water for about 2 whole hours before being rescued. Thanks to the alcohol he consumed, he hardly felt the cold, which he admitted himself. It generally amazes me that someone who was a part of the class with the lowest survival rate and was drunk was able to survive out of hundreds of other people who weren't. Shocking, isn't it? What came out of this? Well, when there were some major reforms because of the public's reaction to the Titanic, which did make a good thing that came out from such a tragedy. The International Maritime Safety Laws have changed, adding in place the SOLAS Convention, aka, safety of life at sea. Adding enough lifeboats for all passengers, regular safety drills, and a 24-hour radio watch. The Titanic disaster exposed class-based survival disparities, caused public outrage, and changed maritime safety, all because of the unfair treatment between first and third class passengers. The public was furious at the unfair class treatment determining survival rate according to many of the newspapers released during the time, which changed society's norms and views of classes. From everyone treating third class like garbage, to everyone realizing that it could affect themselves, because humans are selfish. And that is how the Titanic exposed class inequality, changed society's norms, placed new safety laws on all of White Star Line ships. And for such a tragic event, it did cause a lot of things to change for the better. And we honor those people's sacrifices and the impact it had on the countries and families they came from. Thank you. I am Maven George, and this is my NHD project.